Welcome to Common Man Cocktails. I'm your host, Derek Schomer. Today, what I'm going to do is show you how to make a margarita on a budget. This margarita, I've broken it out. It costs you about $2 a drink. I need a glass. Some base assumptions, you've got ice and you've got a glass. Otherwise, add that to your budget, but it's probably not going to break the bank because you can reuse the glass and ice is just frozen water. Worst case, wait till winter. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to make this cocktail. It's going to taste like you get it at a bar because it's using good ingredients. However, it doesn't break the bank. You go to a bar. You go to a cocktail place. You will spend between 12 on the low side, maybe 8 if you're like going to like Texas Roadhouse and getting whatever you want to call their margaritas, which are total pieces of shit. Or you go to a real cocktail bar and you're going to get a margarita. It's going to be someplace in like the $18 to $22, depending if you're in a city or not, maybe more in New York now. I don't know. So here's the recipe breakdown. It's going to be 2 ounces of tequila, 1 ounce of lime, 3/4 of an ounce of a combination. We've got 3/4 ounce of orange liqueur and 3/4 ounce of agave nectar. These numbers you can play with. You can bring them up to a full ounce if you're crazy. If you like sweeter margaritas, you can bring them down, which is what I typically do. But I'm going to make it the way I think the general audience will like it. So it's going to be 2, 1, 3/4, 3/4. It's like a 2-1-1 recipe, slightly on the sweeter side, because when you combine the 2 3/4, they're above 1, but whatever. It's a rounding error. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the lime, because I've already squeezed it, because I didn't want to do that on camera. Not because I'm afraid you don't know I can have some lime squeezing skills, but I wanted to shave off a few seconds so I could talk more. So here's our 1 ounce of lime. Secret ingredient, lime. This lime cost me about 49 cents. Seasonal, so it depends. If you're in California, you probably can get a whole bunch for that, but out here in New England, we got to ship those things in, so it's 49 cents. Agave nectar, I get mine at BJ's Wholesale. Big ass, I probably got more of these. I got a whole nother one, right? Because margarita season, it's summertime, so it's going to be summertime. So I tend to stock up when the stuff is on sale. Not just this stuff, though. I also get this stuff on sale. This is like a 1.75 liter of Lunazul. Lunazul, you could probably get a normal $7.50 for anywhere. I've seen them priced out on like Total Wine, like $18 or $15.99 sometimes, or up to like, let's say 22, 23, 24. I put an average cost of about $22 for a standard bottle, not a behemoth like this. That works out to like it's 88 cents an ounce. So let's say maybe $2 at most for your tequila. Mine's a little bit under. So maybe this drink is between $2 and $2.25 depending on where you go. But since I'm buying this in bulk, I get to save a little bit of money. I suggest you do the same. And if you, when I say bulk, but again, you just buy one. You don't have to go all crazy like I am. So let's do 3/4 of an ounce of agave nectar before we do our orange liqueur. Why this 3/4 now? Because if I screw up the drink, I don't waste my tequila. Try to be on a budget here. Plus, it's just good general rule. Orange liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce. This cost roughly $6. I mean, this one's bigger, so it's probably like 14. But in general, my math worked out to about, I think it was like 26 cents a drink if you buy like the cheap stuff. This is just a Cooper's triple sec. Now, of course, if you watch the show for a while, you know I don't always do cheap stuff. I rarely do cheap stuff, but that's not the point of this. You can go and get yourself some dry Curacao, right? You want to get some dry Curacao. This is Pierre Ferrand. This by itself is like $25. So that's pushing us up to like a $3 drink. And guess what? The bars, they're not even using that. Even the high-end bars, they're not using that. And if you're going to like Texas Roadhouse or Chili's, they're just using like orange juice, sugars, and maybe a little dash of like the cheap stuff. Now we're going to finish it off with 2 ounces of tequila. It's not easy pouring from a big-ass bottle. I'll tell you what. So, pro tip, get yourself a small bottle of Lunazul or your favorite Blanco and just re-pour it in. That's typically what I do is I have a funnel. I just funnel this into the smaller bottle so I can put them in my back bar, bring them over to a friend's house and stuff like that without going crazy. But if you're making big punches, like I do during the summer, like a large 128 ounce-ish margarita, using these big guys here, make it easy. You can pour them into cups and just build massive quantities. That's the trick. With this simple recipe, you can make many, many, many servings without having to change anything. You just do out the ratio the same. you know, you got like 20 ounces of lime and 40 ounces of tequila. You get the understanding. Let's pour some in here. Oh yeah. Top it. And of course, one of your other fees, if you wish to look at it as so, if you're investing in cocktails, you could just stir shake this with stuff at home. Or you can go to awesomedrinks.com, get yourself a cocktail shaker, home bartender starter kit, get the squeezer, all that stuff. And the home bartender starter kit's still going to cost you like cheap money. You can check it out at awesomedrinks.com, link below. And then you have that for all of them. So you only buy it once, but you make many copies of your margarita. Or daiquiris. Shake it till it's cold, 15, 20 seconds. Cold. Good. Strainer. Of course, you can do everything high class. This specific shaker, the gunmetal shaker, this is more money than buying this cocktail 4 times at a bar. But that's just because that's how I roll. But you don't have to do that. Especially nowadays. So for me, just a slight bit too sweet. So I personally would dial back, in this case, the Agave Nectar, because Agave Nectar, this stuff is super sharp. Like it's sweet up front real fast. Where sugar tends to be like a lingering sweet, but it's a little bit more subtle. Agave Nectar spikes really quick. It's got a high Brix level. So I would tone back, for me personally, some of the agave to like a half or a quarter ounce, and then taste it and bring it up. That's usually how I make margaritas to the poolside. I go lower because everybody that I know I'm serving to tends to like to drink strong. They've been drinking for a while. So it's different. But for this, you get to change and adjust everything, and you don't have to spend any extra cash. Think sweet, slightly sweet, still get a good lime finish. The agave comes through. And just to give you an idea of my personal selections, Agave Nectar, buy whatever you can get. I'm not a big, it's really just a sweetening agent to balance out the lime. It doesn't matter what brand you go with, organic or whatever you want to do. Fuck that noise. Get the stuff that's on sale. Be good with it. For tequila, I'll give you a couple options that are in this price range. You can go with Hornitos Plata. I like Luna Azul because it has a little bit more flavor and taste. That tastes more like that little, like a salty, fruity lime, like earthy flavor that you don't typically get out of Hornitos, which is a little bit more, I don't want to say vodka-like, but I do. Like it just doesn't have the same kick to it, same flavor to it. That's a personal preference. Tres Generaciones is a good one. It might be like $3 extra. I don't have any other samples of some cheaper tequilas because I basically drink them all. Like that's one of our bigger drinks during the summer. So for me personally, I go with Luna Azul for the price. I buy the big ass bottles or 2. In New Hampshire, it's cheaper. Look for July 4th, Memorial Day, Veterans Day, any time that alcohol stores have to give you a discount, buy a couple bottles and just store them. You don't need them right. You can use them next year, whatever. Just don't open your tequila and use half of it and then wait for next year. Buy a full bottle of tequila and put it to the side for the year later. Once you open it, some of the flavor starts to kind of disappear and oxidate, that you don't get the same flavor profile as a fresh bottle that's under 4 months old. So keep that in mind. Triple sec, this is probably where the price will go up the sharpest depending on how pinky up you want to get with it. But again, on a budget, get something in a plastic bottle that's nice and big. Most people aren't going to know. And I'm telling you, if you go to a bar and you watch them build it, the recipe ingredients are not going to be that much different. You're not, unless they give you a request, it's probably going to be like Herradura or something like that, which is pretty equivalent in a taste profile. You're not getting this super spectacular drink that's made with like diamonds and gold. It's like what you're making at home. Fresh squeezed juice. You won't even get that at a lot of... Here's a good test for you. If you want to get a margarita and you go to a restaurant and they have like all these flavored margaritas, just ask for your margarita with a specific tequila in it. Even Patron if you want to do me a dirty. But like ask for your brand of tequila that you like or something that you've seen and say, I want my margarita with this. If they can't do it, it's because they pre-mixed it at the beginning of the opening, and they've kind of like, because they're moving them so fast that they pre-mix it, which usually means they're using a bunch of garbage in there and juices and pineapples and orange juice and stuff to get the flavor, and then they're probably just adding a bunch of sugar and throwing whatever cheap tequila they have into the drink. Those are places that you don't want to spend $12.99 on a cocktail. I don't care if they come in a big ass jar, Doesn't matter how fancy they are, if they're on fire. Just go home, go order a Diet Coke, go home, then make your margaritas. Save yourself a ton of money. There you go. We're teaching you how to drink.